today's demonstration, I'm going to show you the benefits of assembling the future of work. By bringing together both digital and human workers, we create a new workforce that essentially unlocks unlimited productivity, adaptability, and growth. We're going to start today as a salesperson at an organization that's going after a new project management role at Omega Inc. I've been going back and forth with this hiring manager for a while. I've sent out a contract, and now because I'm such a fantastic salesperson, we're going to close this position as one. So now my recruiters can get working. Well, typically what needs to happen is I need to wait for the next stand-up I have with my recruiters so I can pass off some of the job details so they understand what type of talent we're actually looking for. But those keen-eyed viewers among you may have noticed that we've already got a new job created in our applicant tracking system right here. So here we are inside that new job, and what you can see is that all the information from the opportunity have been brought over. All the hiring manager details, the start date, the pay rate, everything we'd agreed on, and there's also a job description written. Now, how could that be? I didn't have a job description. Well, here at our organization, we take advantage of the Asymbl Recruiter Suite and the Asymbl Agentforce Suite, and they have a digital worker that has written a job description for me. Now, this takes into account how we like to write job descriptions, the specific details that we like to pull out, and if I wanted to, it could even post this externally for me. Now, in addition to that, I know that my system is going out and finding the best possible matching candidates for me that could work for this particular role. I know that as a recruiter, I've been talking to candidates that are in Austin that I'd like to make sure are considered for this role. So if I move over to my map view, you can see that here I am in Austin, Texas, and I do indeed have some candidates that I've been talking to. Most exciting of which is Alice Brown here, who happens to be an individual with project management skills in Austin. I'm going to immediately add her to this job. With a few clicks, I can make sure that I get her added to this project management role, that I can make sure she gets considered. So I'm going to click Finish here. And now I also have Charlie Davis. Now Charlie is interesting because he's in customer success, and I know I have a role for customer success, so I'm also going to add him to a nurture cadence to make sure that he gets some emails from me about specific jobs that'll be a good fit for him. As a matter of fact, let's dig into Charlie's record so you can see what happens with those cadences. So on Charlie's record here on the right-hand side, you can see the cadences that he's involved in. And what a cadence is inside of Salesforce is just a series of steps that we take candidates through. And this first step can be triggered just by clicking this button here. Now, what I'm going to do is write an email for Charlie specific to a job I have in mind. And that job here is that customer success role that I was mentioning. Here's that customer success role. Now, as a human, I would have to go into Charlie's record, understand everything we know about Charlie, understand everything there is to know about that customer success director role that we have, match those two up, write a creative email, and send that out to Charlie. Instead of doing that, that's what digital workers are fantastic at. And you can see here that one of my digital workers has written the exact email that I would be writing for Charlie. You can see that it addresses Charlie, it lets Charlie understand that we're working on this customer success director role, and it aligns with your experience and aspirations. It knows what Charlie wants to see in a new role, and then it's going to lay out those specifics for Charlie here in this email. But I, as a human, only have to just click send email. I didn't have to go back through all of those records and understand what Charlie may want to see. And then I can move on to the next step in the process, which here it looks like it's adding him as a LinkedIn connection, which I can do directly from this button here inside of Salesforce. Now let's move back to that position that we were working on for that project manager. And you remember I added that person to this job. Now what happened? If I go to the Kanban view, you're going to see that here is Alice Brown, who we added to the job, but she's already in interview stage. How can that be? I didn't schedule any interviews for Alice. Well, if I click into Alice's record here, you're going to see that there has been a scheduling call between Alice and who? Anna. Now, Anna is the Asymbl voice agent that we employ here at our organization. It's a digital worker that handles all of our scheduling phone calls and pre-screens if we'd like them to. So here's Anna. Anna has a phone call with Alice, and they went through the process of actually scheduling an interview for Alice directly with the hiring manager. Fantastic. So if I move back over into this role, you can see that that interview is indeed scheduled here. Best of luck, Alice. That's fantastic. And thank you so much to my digital worker for getting that scheduled for me. Now I'm going to move forward to another job that we have here that we've been working on, which is this DevOps engineer. And here in this DevOps engineer, you can see we've been managing quite a few people through this process. And we've got Abigail here who has already been interviewing for this position. Now, I as a human would have to go to each one of those hiring managers that interviewed Abigail, chase down their feedback for this person, make sure that I can quantify that and deliver that back to Abigail. But instead of chasing down all that feedback myself, I can just turn to Agentforce as my digital worker to do that for me. So I can simply just ask Agentforce, summarize the interview feedback for Abigail Mason and show it to me. So now what Agentforce is going to do is it's going to go and summarize all of the interview feedback for Abigail, put it in a form that I can understand, and even suggest next steps for me. And even though I misspelled Abigail's name here, it still understands that I'm talking about Abigail Mason and has shown me all the interview feedback here. It says that it's predominantly positive, fantastic, and even showed me that there is one negative piece of feedback, but overall, it's a positive recommendation because it outweighs the negative. Fantastic. So now I can move forward with Abigail and just with a drag and drop, create an offer for Abigail at the rate that we had agreed on and send this off. Now, my digital worker is going to craft that offer letter for me, send it out to Abigail, and move us forward in that next step. So that's the benefit of having both digital workers and human workers working together in the workforce so that digital workers can do what they do best and even work behind the scenes to make sure that I, as a human worker, get the most out of my productivity.